Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one, the only, Julie Lin.
Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I have a glamorous assistant with me today.
Hello.
Let's hear your name.
My name is Francis Baudeville.
So we're lucky to do this in partnership with the Glasgow Science Centre, and it's part of the COP26 initiative to use up your leftover scraps. So leftovers is something that we've all got loads of, and I think this recipe actually uses quite a lot of little bits and bobs to get rid of those things. So we are going to make a chicken katsu Kiev. There's a couple of little bits involved, and I'll just talk you through the leftovers I'm using first. So here I have got some leftover boiled carrots that I had from the day before. I've also got some pear. Now pear is a bit of a funny one, that's going to go into the katsu sauce, and it just makes it a bit sweeter and it utilises all your old veg. And on top of that I have used, now quite a lot of you said actually on our poll that we asked how you, or what kind of leftovers you have in the house, quite a lot of people said herbs. So you always kind of get the kind of smushy herbs at the back of the fridge that we all forget about, obviously. And I have just turned that into a butter today. So I've just turned it into a bit of a garlic butter. And it just means there's different ways of preserving your leftover things. So you can use vinegar to preserve, or you can use fats. So using it as a butter means that you preserve those kind of wilted herbs in a bit of a kind of fatty situation. And I'm going to use that within the katsu. So normally you would just have a bit of fried chicken or fried pork cutlet with katsu sauce, but I wanted to use, I just make it a bit kind of more exciting, so making it into Kiev instead. So yeah, this is our chicken, and I've actually just used a rolling pin and a bit of cling film just to batter it down a bit so it cooks a bit quicker. Francis did not enjoy that bit at all. It was a bit of a shame.
She used a bottle of wine, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have a rolling pin.
No, we don't have a rolling pin at all. So I'm going to start this here, and first I'm just going to wrap the chicken over. Again, this is not the prettiest part of the demonstration, but it will look gorgeous in the meantime. So then the next thing that you want to do is try and get that all kind of encased in some flour and also some breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs is the other thing that I'm using as well. So I've just had some left, and we all kind of get leftover bread as well. So I normally just put it in the oven, heat it up, and then blitz it down, and that makes your breadcrumbs. So I've got a mix of katsu here and a mix of breadcrumbs in there too. But first I'm just going to pop this lovely raw chicken into some flour.
What kind of flour was that, Julie?
We've just got some regular flour, Francis. Thank you for asking. Good question. But just even if you've got like cornstarch or something like that, that'll work totally fine. Just use whatever you have in the house. Now I've got some egg wash, which I've just put at the side. So the process of putting it into the plain flour first means that you dry off the chicken so you can then put it into the egg wash. So it's a bit wetter again, and then you put it into the breadcrumbs. So it means that everything kind of sticks a lot easier, which is nice. Okay, so going in here, and then you can see, I mean, this is again the kind of most grotesque part of the recipe, shall we say. And what I've done, I'm doing this part first because you just want to leave the chicken katsu to fry for about 8 minutes, I would say, depending on the size of your chicken breast, of course. But if you're ever in doubt, just use a thermometer, and if it reaches 75 degrees Celsius after at least 10 minutes, I would say, then you're good. I've got this here. You are going to have pretty mucky hands after this. And I'm just going in, I've got a fryer here, but if you don't have a fryer in the house, just use a pot with some oil and fill it up so you can at least get the chicken breast like quite well in there, because you don't want to, like the top of it to be sticking out, otherwise it won't cook. So I'm just giving it a little sugar, and I put it up high at the beginning, but now I want to take it down to 160, and that means that we'll have a kind of nice golden breadcrumb on it as well. So I'll just leave that cooking whilst we're doing the katsu sauce as well. Get rid of some of this stuff here. Francis, can you keep the people entertained, please?
My name is Francis Baudeville. I'm a duck and I'm so lucky. I gotta be in the kitchen with Julie Lin. Watch for things tonight with Julie Lin.
That was perfect. Well done.
You're welcome.
I've just got a kind of small sauce pot in here. It doesn't need to be too big. So I'm just going to do enough for myself and Francis today, actually. I'm going to turn this on oil heated up a little bit, and this is where the katsu sauce comes in. So it's like, actually the katsu sauce is probably the easiest part of the recipe. I'd say it's not that hard to kind of get together. And again, see if you've got like, I like to use a bit of sweetness in this, so that's where the pear comes in handy for me. But if you've got something like apple left over that's about to go, maybe chop that up, because at the end of the day we're going to start frying, you'll see what I mean, but we're going to start frying all then blazing it down. So I'm just going to turn this down to kind of low heat just now. And then I've got an onion here, and I've got some ginger, and I've also got some garlic as well. And that's the kind of main base of the sauce that you want as well. So just start off with that and start frying your onions first. And I've just chopped it really roughly, remembering that you don't need to chop it finely because we are going to blitz it all down at the end, so don't worry about any spills or anything like that. Now I've actually used about 2 to 3 centimetres of ginger and just chopped that up. I know it's all a bit different, but really if you get about a heaped tablespoon of chopped ginger, that should be fine. And I have used a whopping 5 cloves of garlic for this because it gives some flavour.
It's a lot of garlic.
It's a lot of garlic. A lot of garlic. Okay, now I'm just going to let that sizzle off. And you don't want it too high, so I don't want the onions to catch too much, but I do want them to sweat down and just get a bit softer from there.
It smells delicious.
The smell of vision from Francis. This is starting to go now. I'll just leave that to simmer for a wee second and talk you through all the other things I've got. I've got some chicken stock here, which I'm gluten free from you already. And actually, I had this in veg, which is just some peelings left over, just from peeling carrots and potatoes. I have a bit of celery in it as well, and I can just throw that in. Again, this is quite adaptable, so don't feel that you have to use exactly the same things that I'm doing. Just use whatever veg you've got in the fridge, and that should be you. I'm going to add in some curry powder. Now, I've just used a mild curry powder here, because I actually quite like, because I've got the flavours from the garlic butter and the coriander and stuff in there, I just want a kind of mild curry powder in here for flavour. So I'm going to use 3 heaped teaspoons of that.
It looks like a lot, Julie.
It looks like a lot, but we need the flavour in there. Okay, and now I'm going to add in just a tablespoon of plain flour. And if any of you have made a roux before, you'll know the kind of effect that has on a sauce. It makes everything a bit thicker and it'll make kind of everything bind together as well. But you want to add that in at the stage where there's still oil in the pot, so not after your liquids, but before, so it kind of cooks all the flavour or all the flour out, so it doesn't taste raw.
Lovely.
Would you eat that? Would you eat it like that?
I mean, yeah, I'd eat pretty much anything. Maybe I'll have some of these leaves. They look like delicious. Very nice leaves you got there.
What do you think you eat the most of? That's it.
Bread, because people give it to me in the pot, but you shouldn't give me bread in the pot. It's bad for boys. That's especially.
Indeed. And Francis, I'm going to go in with the chicken stock now. Again, we just need that to simmer all together. And I'm just going to bring that up a wee bit just to boil. I'm ready for all of the other things, so I'm just going to pop in those peelings just straight away. Again, that's getting utilised, and all of the things being washed, of course. Don't need any dirty veg in there. And then I'm going in with those boiled carrots and some pear as well. Okay, so this is how it's looking. Smell it?
Delicious.
Right. So I'm just going to turn the heat up on that and get that up to a boil, and then just leave that just to simmer off for a couple of seconds, and go back to our little cutlet here as well. It's looking gorgeous and golden. Can you see that?
Yeah, really golden.
If you didn't want to do this with chicken, you could actually maybe just do like a pumpkin katsu. So you can maybe just breadcrumbs and pumpkin, or you can use butternut squash. But again, for this time of year, there is quite a lot of pumpkin still in the shop after our kind of Halloween time. So I think pumpkin would be a really nice alternative. The sauce is coming up to boil now. This is what we want. But you can kind of see already that it is looking a bit thicker. For that having so much chicken stock in it, it's looking a lot better.
Can I have a little taste too?
You want to try?
Give me a little spoonful.
Give me a spoon.
Yeah. Let me give a little.
What do you think?
So nice. You
like it?
Oh yeah. I'd have a bath of that if I could.
Right, so I am happy with this. I'm just going to turn up the heat a tiny touch, and I'm going to go mix it down. So I'm just using like your kind of regular soup blender for this. Don't have to use anything fancy. Just make sure that it doesn't spurt back at you. And I'm not wearing an apron because this is how I cook in the house. I have food all over my clothes all the time. So this is a real version.
Cover your ears.
Cover your ears, it's gonna be loud. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. Okay, now I'll just show you the thickness of this, just to show you how quick that's happened. And again, it's probably cooked a lot quicker than it would if you were using raw carrots as I boiled mine last night. I'm just going to use them for today. So that's it here. Looking lovely. Now time for the taste test. Post bliss. Very good one. It's a very, very good one. I am now going to add in, just to make it slightly creamier, some coconut milk. I'm going to hide the branding because that's what we do in the house. I'm sure everyone's had coconut milk where you get the kind of fat at the top, so the kind of harder bit of the coconut. I just want that bit in alone because I think the consistency of this is fine, but I just want a bit more creaminess from it. So again, I'm just using a spoon to scoop it out because you'll see the under there, you kind of get a bit more of the kind of liquidy part of the coconut water in there. So I'm just using the top part here. Again, I know this is definitely more than enough katsu sauce for one, but I like to keep some of it in the freezer so you can just have it whenever. And I am going to add a little bit of dark soy to this again, probably about a tablespoon in there. And that I just use a dark soy here actually because I like the kind of like heaviness of it with the too. That is looking amazing. Yeah, you can see the kind of colour change in that too. So I've added a bit of the kind of creamy coconut milk, and now I've got some of the soy in here too. And I'm just going to add a tiny touch of vinegar because I quite like to balance the acidity from it too. So I've not had anything acidic in there too.
Is that just regular vinegar?
It is actually, I would use just a white vinegar for this one. A malty one might be a bit too heavy, but good question. This is really good. And just the tiniest pinch of sugar. And that is you. Okay, so this is done. And now I'm just going to get my rice from... I've actually just had some rice in the microwave reheated, and that will do for our kind of carbs for the dish as well. And this, again, I'm in the house. You could actually, it's normally quite nice to do a little kind of dome of rice. You normally just get a bowl, compact it in, but I'm in the house and it's just for me, Francis, so it's absolutely fine. We're just going to light it up like this. I prefer to use jasmine rice for this as well because I just think the kind of thicker grains hold that sauce in a lot nicer. So, okay, now it should be the time for our gorgeous chicken. Now look at this.
Wow, cheers.
And you've obviously got all that kind of gorgeous garlic butter in there, so that will be amazing. I'm just going to turn that over for 2 seconds now. I always drain this just because you've obviously got quite a lot of oil just in there, so you don't want it to be greasy on the plate. And here's another thing that I prepared earlier, which is just some kitchen roll in it. Very high tech. Okay, so we'll take that out and just let that drain for a second. But yeah, you can see how crispy that is. Can you hear it? I'm just going to pop that here to one side. And now I'm just going to grab a ladle. We're nearly at the kind of plating up stage. Now I love to kind of garnish it to make it look a bit better, so I'm just going to use a bit of coriander. Coriander's not your thing, maybe use some cucumber, give it a bit of colour in there. I think that is looking good. And then also I'm a big fan of crispy garlic, which I think goes quite well with this, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of that over my rice too. And here we have it. We've got some chicken katsu Kiev for dinner tonight, and that's used, just to recap, the leftovers. We have used some leftover carrot, which was in our bowl as well. We used some leftover bread for breadcrumbs. We've also used even the peelings as well. There's loads of things for this dish, so you can kind of manipulate it to make it however you fancy it. Would you like to try some?
I don't know, I'll maybe wait till after we stop filming.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps you use up some more leftovers in the house. And thanks to Francis for being our glamorous assistant today.
You're welcome.